Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to welcome you all to our today's lecture, Studying Journalism in the US. My name is Yana Ovcharenko, and I am an outreach coordinator here at Education USA Ukraine. And let me just kindly remind you that Education USA is your official source on US higher education. So, talking about our topic for today, if you have ever dreamed to become a journalist or you just simply wonder what studying journalism looks like in the USA, you are in the right place because today we are going to dive into this topic and explore different opportunities in that field. And today we are really glad to be joined by three amazing speakers, Jennifer, Brooke, and Lucinda from Texas Tech University. And yeah, they are going to share their expertise with us. And it is one amazing hour ahead of us. And I want to encourage you to write all your questions in the chat, and they will be answered at the end of our lecture. So, ladies, the floor is yours.
Awesome. So, hi everyone. My name is Jennifer Wang. I work as international admission counselor here at Texas Tech University. It's my great pleasure to be here today. Since you're attending today's session, I assume you have a passion for journalism or thinking about becoming a journalist in the future. How exciting is that? And today we're going to dive into what study journalism in the US is like, and we're going to explore all specializations you might be interested in. Plus, we're going to talk about some courses you will need to take, and we're going to also touch on some qualities that can help you thrive in that field. And also today, I'm so excited to have my fantastic coworker, Brooke, join me today, who can share all the incredible programs and opportunities at the College of Mass Communication here at Texas Tech. And also, we're fortunate to have Professor Holt in the room as well. She brings a wealth of experience from her time as a journalist and all the great resources we have at our Thomas J. Harris Institute. So let's jump in and have some good exploring together. Alrighty, so this is our agenda today. So I think I already mentioned a little bit. We're going to talk about studying journalism, and I will highlight a little bit about Texas Tech University, who we are, what we have to offer, and also I will handle the stage to Brooke and Professor Hart for them to highlight what we offer at the College of Mass Communication. If you have any questions, we're going to have a Q&A by the end of this presentation, and so feel free to send your question to the chat box. We're going to read through them and answer all of them during this webinar. Alrighty, so you may wondering what journalism is. So journalism encompasses of a lot this day. So it's the whole process of gathering, presenting, and contextualizing news and informations. So it starts with cultivating a rich network in order to hear about current events and process through research, interviewing, observations, and travel, writing and editing, and put them and formatting the information to work in digit, print, and broadcast setting. It's a very long sentence. So we're going to expand that more. So journalism can be used to inform, entertain, inspire, or a bit of all three. So journalists might strive to add more diverse voices to the dominant story or stereotype, share meaningful stories, and to make sure public figures, business, and government aren't take advantages of the public. So if you become a journalist, your work can take a lot of different forms. For instance, you might cover politics, culture, sports, entertainment, and more on both the local and national level. And your work might appear in different forms of media like newspaper, TV, podcast, website, or more. Or sometimes you might not in the reporting side of the things at all. Some journalists pivot to running social media page for news organizations to make sure their story gets seen, while others move into the editing, designing, or sales part of the industry. Alrighty, so let's look closer at the definition of journalism. So journalism aims to inform people about a particular topic or event and potentially make better decisions, hold powerful people accountable, and tell untold stories. And as a journalist, they're able to talk to the sources, uncover information, and consolidate them into a useful, clear written and audiovisual statements that make others make sense, that help others make sense of the world. Okay. And if you're interested to get a journalism degree, you can expect it to take a lot of courses. So for example, you can take a lot of courses in writing and reporting. So this means finding information and combining it that help the most important details reach audience as clear as possible. So these classes will help you to come up with story ideas, interview ethically and completely, and also you can learn how to strike different kind of stories. So country include classes in media platforms, which can help you to use video, audio, and internet tours effectively to get the story out there. You're also going to take also likely to take the media law and ethics classes to learn what you can and cannot do as a journalist. Alrighty. So like I mentioned earlier, there's so many specializations under the journalism degree. So first of all, journalism degree often find it in like a J school, where you can immerse your passion and choose specialization like broadcast journalism, sport journalism, entertainment journalism. You can also pursue a journalism degree as a major within the College of Communication or even English department. So it totally depends on the school setting. Already, so some of the most important quality that journalism major tend to share are critical thinking and curiosity. So by definition, most easy answer in the world has already been found. So a passion for discovering the truth or digging deeper is likely to serve you well. So if you enjoy using your creativity for practical purpose, for example, help others understand the beliefs of different political candidates or explaining why a particular industry is experiencing a cutback, this could be a really good major for you. And other useful qualities include strong organizational skills, both in terms of managing information and in general, because journalists often need to take track of the details for multiple stories, and they cannot afford to get the facts wrong. Another thing I like to mention is to comfortable interacting with people. While you definitely do not have to identify as an extrovert to become a journalist, but you should feel comfortable interacting with different kind of people. So as an early career journalist, you will be building networks of sources, and also with fellow journalists. So it is quite common to have a cold call um, with people and maintain professionalism, even if they're not very interested in talking to you. So that's why I list some of the qualities listed here. So next, we're gonna already. So I hope this is just a brief I just provided some general information about studying journalism here in the United States, but I will let Brooke and Professor Holt talk about more their experience. So I hope those information is helpful and it gives you a clear picture of what studying journalism is like. So now I will highlight a little bit about Texas Tech University, who we are, and all the amazing things we have to offer. Okay, so if you have never traveled to the state of Texas before, we are the second largest state in the nation, both economy and population wise. So as you can see on this map, Lubbock, that's where Texas Tech is located. We're in the west part of Texas, where that white star at. We are very large. We're a very large university. As of fall 2023, we have over 40,000 students enrolled, and more than 78% of our students come from farther than 300 miles away. So we have students from all 50 states and over 100 countries. Currently, we have over actually 4,000 international students here in Lubbock with us. And if you look at our whole student population, 42% of them identify as a student from a diverse background. So we truly appreciate the culture that international students bring to the campus. And even though also we have the second largest campus in the nation. So even though we have a large campus and large student population, we still maintain a 20 to 1 student to teacher ratio. So that means our faculties and staffs are accessible. If you ever want to make a one-on-one meeting with them, we will make our time for you. All right, another thing is about our recognitions. So Texas Tech is a Tier 1 research institution, which is the Carnegie classification and the highest research ranking that a university can receive. So simply speaking, those major companies, they're willing to donate money for us to do research. First prep.
Oops, it seems like Jennifer has some problems with internet connection. Okay. Don't worry. Let's do something. I believe that I have a presentation and I hope that Jennifer will be back soon. It's okay. Guys, if you have some questions for now, please drop them in the chat. Okay. Okay, I think that Jennifer is back. We're happy to have you again.
I didn't realize I was like leaving the. Can you all see my screen now?
Yeah, we can.
Already, that's good to be back. Okay. So I think we're just talk about the Tier 1 research institution, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So like I mentioned earlier, we are a Tier 1 research institution, which is the Carnegie classification and the highest research ranking that a university can receive. Also, we are ranked number 9 nationally in workforce preparation of graduates, and 99% of our graduates find employment, join military, or attend graduate professional school within 6 months of graduating. Also, at undergraduate level, we have over 150 programs for students to choose from. If you're interested in getting a master's or doctoral degree program later, we have over 100 masters and over 60 doctoral programs. So for a large university like us, you can definitely find a good fit in here. Already. Like I mentioned, we have over 150 programs under 10 academic colleges. So I listed all of them here. For example, our College of Engineering, we have offer major like computer science, computer engineering, petroleum engineering, chemical engineering, civil engineering. You can definitely find a good fit in here, and also we allow students to minor in any major they want to. So just like our slogan said, from here is possible. So I am excited to hand the mic over to my amazing coworker, Brooke. She's our college representative from the College of Mass Communication and is here to share all the wonderful things that our college has to offer. Brooke, the stage is yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I just want to take a minute to thank everyone. What a great honor it is to join you this evening and share more about not only working in the field of journalism, but also what life looks like to pursue your education in the U.S. There are so many wonderful opportunities, no matter what your passions are, for you to pursue a career path that is impactful. And journalism is a wonderful way to do that. And today I'm here to share a little bit more about what the College of Media and Communication here at Texas Tech University offers in terms of journalism, but other pathways as well. So if you have a love for storytelling, if you have a love for writing, and so much more, this could be a really great fit for you. So in our College of Media and Communication, at the undergraduate level, we offer 6 different majors that you can pursue in your education. Anything from advertising, which you probably have seen a multitude of advertising, whether that's national, global. There are so many realms to promote brands, to promote businesses and messages. And so advertising is really consumed in the world of brand storytelling. And so that's a great creative pathway for many students. We also offer a major in communication studies. I love to say that this is diving deeper into what communication is and how it impacts individuals. Communication studies allows students to study in the world of verbal communication, nonverbal communication, argumentation, debate, international communication and persuasion, and so much more. So it's a very broad range of areas. I have students with this degree who go into many career paths. We also offer creative media industries. So if you have found yourself ever working with cameras in production and you have a love for making a story visually come to life, this could also be a really great route. Many of the students in this realm are working in things like photography, videography, editing, podcasting, radio, and so much more as well. Digital media and professional communication is another major offered in our college. And this is more based on business communication. I have many students who really enjoy working with big data and understanding, why is social media important for companies, or why are certain media, needed for a company's success. And so digital media dives deeper into the world of business communication and all of that that it entails. Journalism is obviously what we're here for today, and Jennifer did an amazing job of explaining in depth of what journalism looks like. In our college in media and communication, we are training students to be ethical storytellers in journalism. Whether they want to pursue that as a sports journalist, as a political journalist, maybe you have a love for science. Science communication and healthcare communication is always very impactful and an area that you can also pursue. We've had students work in lifestyle and entertainment journalism. It really just broadens the horizon of what you can do with journalism. And we're teaching students, as I said, how to be an ethical storyteller, how to package stories. As you probably know, journalism is ever evolving. You know, what it looked like 10 years ago is what it is different than today. And so our amazing professors, one who you'll get to meet in a few slides, are training our students with relevant information. It's timely, and it's preparing these students to go out in the world when they graduate and be ready to take on the industry of journalism. Another pathway that we offer in the College of Media and Communication is called Public Relations and Strategic Communication Management. That is kind of a mouthful to say, but this degree is all about public relations. You might have heard about this, and you've probably seen the work of public relations and not even known that's what it was. Students in public relations are learning how to advocate and being strategic in what messaging people are hearing and saying about companies. So really, it's about building mutually beneficial relationships as a company and its stakeholders. Some students in this realm also pursue areas in corporate communication. I've had students go to law school with this degree. They're working in real estate, they're working in crisis communication, and so much more. So those are these 6 different areas of study that are available in our College of Media and Communication. So I just wanted to give that brief overview. Next up, just a little bit more about the community in media and communication. Our college on campus at Texas Tech is definitely not the biggest, and we're not the smallest. I'd like to say we are the perfect size to find your community. We have about 2,000 undergraduate students. That might seem a little scary at first to see that number. However, you know, based on my experience when I was a student, I came through this program of study, and I quickly found my place. I quickly found a support system between my amazing professors and the many others that are involved in this college. As I mentioned earlier, we offer 6 degrees, and like Jennifer said earlier, students have the opportunity to major and minor. You might have multiple passions and think, how do I just stick to one area, to study? The great news is you don't have to. You can dip your toes into a variety of areas at Texas Tech to build your perfect area of study. We also offer 5 certificates. Now, a certificate is like a credential. Basically, you're able to graduate with your degree in hand, which our degrees are a Bachelor of Arts. And you can also specialize and earn a certificate. We have certificates offered in game design and culture. If you love the idea of storytelling through games, we need students who can come in and design stories, do character development, do the visual and audio effects, and much more. We also have students who earn a certificate in sports media, also entertainment media, motion picture production, and the final one that we offer is strategic communication management. So I like to say those are like the icing on the cake. They really help our students elevate their experience and build their skills. Another point about our college in the College of Media and Communication, we offer a variety of hands-on day one experiences for students to work in the field. We understand that your academics are extremely important, and we want to prioritize that, but we also want to provide opportunities for you to go out in the field and apply what you're learning in the classroom to real-world work. And we do this through our 30 plus different student organizations and opportunities. Some of these look like our campus newspaper called the Daily Torador. They are an award-winning newspaper, and students are working in a professional newsroom. They're gaining experience working as journalists, working as editors, writers, photographers, and so much more. They cover a variety of stories for the campus and beyond. It's a great opportunity if you are interested in journalism to really get in the field and experience it and see if that's truly what you enjoy. We also have students who want to work in broadcast, and maybe you want to be on TV one day. Maybe you want to be in front of the camera or behind it sharing the news. We have a newscast that is called MCTV Newscast, and it's a great opportunity for students to get comfortable being a reporter, being at the desk as a news anchor, or maybe running the control room and running all of the cameras and operations there. So those are just a couple of those opportunities we offer in the college outside of your academics. Professor Holt is also going to speak about another opportunity that we offer our students to do impactful and meaningful work as well here in a few moments. Last up is we really want you to find your sense of belonging at the College of Media and Communication. Academics are important, and pursuing your career path is really important, but we also want to ensure that you are succeeding personally and that you're finding your connections and you're enjoying your time here. So it's a great community. Many people want to help you and support you. A few other points that I'll kind of briefly go through. We offer a variety of support services to our students that are one-on-one to, again, just provide an additional outlet for you to find those internships, find that next career path, or find that first job, whatever that may look like for you. We do have an amazing academic advising team who work one-on-one with our students and make sure that you are not only taking the right courses, but that you're also getting involved and being engaged in your area of study. We also have what's called a success specialist. This success specialist is there to serve you. They're there to ensure that you have all the skills needed in terms of time management, in terms of maybe other priorities you have or responsibilities going on in your life, and balancing that out with your education. So again, just a great area, a great team to help support you. I talked a little bit about experiential learning and real world learning. We've got lots of opportunities. These pictures on this screen are just one example of some really unique opportunities offered. We have a program that's called Adventure Media. So if you like the outdoors and maybe you enjoy biking or maybe camping, or maybe you don't and you just want to, challenge yourself a little bit, Adventure Media is a week-long bike packing trip where students get to ride 100 miles. Yes, you heard that correctly, 100 miles during 1 week on their bicycles, and they are carrying cameras and equipment with them, and they're out in nature and they're taking photos and videos, personal portfolios, but also for a variety of use for their websites, for their social media, and other promotional means. Even if this does not sound fun to me and I'm not a bicycle rider, that is okay to just put yourself out there and gain great experience. Many study abroad opportunities are offered as well through our college. We've had groups travel across the globe to really kind of put themselves in a different culture and understand, what the work we do, it's how it's impacting these different groups, how it's impacting a variety of cultures, and why the work we do is important. A couple other things that we offer for our students are we have each semester we host a career fair, a job fair, to help our students find internships and to find jobs if they're coming up on graduation. We also offer different networking events for you to get comfortable working with employers and also working on your resume, your cover letter, and other professional documents. So rather than just telling you about all of the internships and careers that our students are doing, I wanted to show you a couple of areas and just, show you what some of our students are up to in the world of journalism. So on this screen, these are a few of our amazing students. And like I said, we have 2,000, so this is a very small chunk of the community at our college. But some of these students, well, I should say all of them, have really involved themselves in their careers in journalism and so much more. And they're just doing amazing things. And I know that their future, whatever that may look like, whatever they go into, they're going to be very successful. We have a group of students who are part of our Society of Professional Journalists, which is a group, again, great way to build community, share ideas. They have a book club that they have run. I'm sure that's continuing on this semester. We also have a student on that second photo. She was able to study abroad in Japan. And she was learning a little bit about a variety of media and technology and, how that works with foreign correspondence and so much more. MCTV newscast, I spoke about that earlier. My student there in the middle, she is working towards being a meteorologist. So her hope and desire is to be on the news one day, sharing the weather and helping communities out in that area. So she's in front of a green screen there, about to report on the weather. We have another student who was part of the mock trial team. She is really wanting to be in the world of political communication. She's currently pursuing and on the track to attend law school in the coming semesters. And so this has been a great opportunity for her to get comfortable debating and building strategic cases and also applying her writing skills towards becoming a lawyer one day. On that final photo is one of our political journalism students. She has had an opportunity to travel around Texas and the nation, covering a variety of news, working with a variety of political figures, and bringing that news and information to the community. Awesome. So that is just a brief overview of what the College of Media and Communication offers in terms of all of our areas of study and the opportunities that you can gain as a student. No matter if you're coming in with journalism experience or not, we are here for you. We're here to support you and help you find your passions. So next up, I'm so excited to hand it over to an amazing individual, Professor Lucinda Holt, who has touched the lives of so many students who have come through this college. She is an incredible journalist herself and also teaches a variety of courses in our journalism field. So I'm excited. She's here to share more about her experiences and her students. So Professor Holt, it is all yours.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us. I'm excited to speak to you all about something I am super passionate about, and that's journalism. So a unique thing about me is that I actually graduated with both my bachelor's and my master's in this college. And the reason why I'm here is because, like Brooke said, there's about 2,000 students within the college, and I found my group. And it just, everybody here is so supportive. The college doesn't even feel like it's that large. It feels more like a family. So there is a ton of support here. And so in order to tell you about what I do and, the future, I have to tell you about my past. And so I am a reporter with the New York Times. That is a position that I obtained in 2014. And I was able to obtain that position through my very own professor here within the College of Media and Communication. And so it was my senior year here within the college that we're speaking to you about, when one of my professors saw my work, pulled me aside, and he said, I think you need to apply for this West Texas, New Mexico correspondent position. And I thought, I'm just a student at Texas Tech. There's no way I'm going to work for the New York Times. There's no way they're going to pick me. And sure enough, they did. And I've been working with them for 11 years. They just renewed my contract, and I just did a story for them on Sunday. So some more about me. So I'm an assistant professor of practice here within the College of Media and Communication, specifically journalism and creative media industries. I am also the assistant director of the Thomas J. Harris Institute for Hispanic and International Communication. And so that is also an area of interest for you guys. I know, we're here to talk about journalism, but I would love to share other resources that we have to offer through the institute that I work with. So if you look at the center picture, that is my profile from the New York Times. I have covered everything from politics. On Sunday, I went and I tried to get an interview with our health secretary here for the U.S. And so we wrote a story about that on Sunday. Before that, we live in the panhandle of Texas, so there is a lot of dry land, and unfortunately that means wildfires. So I also cover natural disasters as well. So what that means for my students, because I'm a professor of practice, the cool thing is that I am able to take this experience and I am able to bring it into the classroom. So students go beyond books. I teach classes like reporting, long-form journalism, multi-platform news delivery. And I like to get my students involved in what I'm doing. So the story that I covered on Sunday, on Monday, when I started teaching class again, I brought that story in and I showed my students the correspondence between me and my editors to show them the process. Hey, what you are learning in the classroom is not just book work. This is how it is in industry. So I teach them to industry. I teach writing and production, and students really get that hands-on experience. So if you look at the picture where underneath it says hands-on student work, not only are they able to see what I do in the field, but because I'm an active journalist, I also have connections throughout the community. So we partner with them in order for students to have that hands-on experience. So some students are interested in court and crime. So I take them to the courthouse where they're able to meet with attorneys and judges, and they sit in on real life trials and they go through the entire process and write up a story. I also partner with our local police department, and so we are able to bring my entire class in, and they sit in on a mock press conference where they are presented with a real world case. So, Brooke was talking about, and I believe Jennifer too, we were talking about ethics. You have to take a media ethics course. So this is where, I like to call it, this is where the rubber meets the road. So you learned about these things, and now you're faced with real world situations and information. What type of information do you use? So there's a lot of ethics that come into play with what we do, and also the investigative process. We also look at freedom of speech, freedom of information. What we learn, just because we have access to information, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should use it. So again, students are brought into these real world situations. And this is a good opportunity to learn not just how to put a story together, whether it's print, web, social media, audio, so radio, podcast, but also how can we be ethical storytellers and build relationships with our sources. Not everything we do has to have a serious tone. We also have a lot of fun stories. Another thing that I love having my students do is if they have, good grades on certain assignments, I like to give them an opportunity to publish their work. That way they can build their portfolio when they're getting ready to find, a job or internship, they have something to show for it. So we have what we call enterprise stories, and these are stories where students, come up with their own idea and they pitch their news stories similar to a newsroom. And so some of them do sports and some of them do entertainment. So I believe you guys have a link in the chat, and that is one of our award-winning stories. It was actually done by a non-journalism major who just took one of my classes and developed an interest in journalism. And so she wrote a story about our local music scene, because Lubbock, around Texas Tech, we have a very popular music scene and art scene, a thriving culture. And so she did a report on that. We were able to publish it for her. We posted it on social media, so she shared it with her family and friends, and everyone was super excited about it. And then we submitted it for an award, and she was a runner-up. So that's pretty good for a non-journalism student. And we've had students, take this experience and they go straight into the newsroom, or they go into covering athletics. So really, the sky is the limit with this type of work. And I'm not the only professor who does this. Several of my colleagues are also in the field and industry, and they also give students this platform. And I would also like to mention that the Hub at TTU is an online journalism platform, and we are an award-winning platform as well. So this is a great way to get your story out there, whether you're a journalism student or not. You could be public relations or, StratCom. We will still consider your work. So now I would like to talk to you about the Thomas J. Harris Institute, which is something that I think would be very beneficial to you all. So again, I am the assistant director, and in the picture, the first picture, the gentleman that is seen there is Dr. Kent Wilkinson, and he is the director of the Institute. As you can see, we have several campus partners. We have the Office of Campus Access and Engagement, Classical and Modern Languages and Literatures, also Mentor Tech, and the International Cultural Center. So in the images that you see, not only do we work with graduate students, but we are starting to work with a lot of undergraduate students. Again, because I'm a professor of practice, the neat thing is that I'm able to bring my experience and share it with students. So one of the biggest, most recent accomplishments that we have here within the Institute is I obtained a grant through the Knight Foundation, which supports media and arts. And so with that grant, we were called to investigate misinformation and disinformation among underserved communities. And so after we started, conducting our research, we learned what the community needs. With that, we were able to take that information and put our undergraduate students to work in the production sense. So we learned, okay, well, the community is needing this regarding information. So let's produce this content, test it out in the community, and see what they think. And through that, we were able to develop a lot of community partners. And one of the interesting aspects of this initiative is that my students were able to create their own game to challenge misinformation and disinformation and promote media literacy, which is super important for the general public, especially in a global sense. So as you can see, the materials on the far right, those are, completely developed by my undergraduate students. Again, they didn't have master degrees, they didn't have a PhD, some of them were freshmen, they just came in, they had all these big ideas, and they created these games to meet the community's needs. So, that's what we're all about here, fostering everyone's ideas and seeing how we can put that to work. Right? So about the Harris Institute. So Thomas J. Harris was a journalist during World War II for the U.S. Air Force. And so through that, he gained this international interest. After that, he became an editor at our local newspaper. When he passed, his family donated money to the College of Media and Communication, and thus the Thomas J. Harris Institute was developed. And because he was a man who was so invested in international studies, that is the whole focus of what we do here. Hispanic is in our name, but we also have a strong focus in international media communication and studies. So a couple of different things that we do here is not only do we connect with the community and have community partners, but we bring international visitors and also fellows so that, you know, our students and the general public can learn from them. So one of the things we do, Thomas J. Harris Lectures, so it brings guests to campus and they have a global relevance. We also offer scholarships to undergraduates and graduate students as well. We have graduate fellowships for students who have an international research focus. And then we also have a doctoral program endowment. So through our institute, we really like to foster international studies as well and research. We have sent students to present, you know, far and wide. For instance, I've presented in France, Australia. We've sent a couple of students to New Zealand. And so it's really, you know, if you have a study, a research focus that is based on international studies, we're more than happy to hear you out and provide you with the funding if it's something that we can really see, you know, taking off and has a big global impact. So we have a lot of projects going on with our students. Some of them do AI, a lot of them are journalism focused, a lot of them are AI and journalism. So if any of that stuff sounds appealing to you, you know, please ask questions. I'm more than happy to answer anything that you may have. And yeah, so I guess that's everything that I have about the Harris Institute and me as a journalist in a nutshell. So thank you guys for, again, giving me the opportunity to speak about the Institute and what I do.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing those great information. It really make me wonder, should I pursue a degree under the college? Back to the presentation. Lubbock itself is a very welcoming community. So we want everyone to feel welcomed and they're involved. So at undergraduate level, we have over 550 student organization, and over 80 of them are international student groups. So it's quite easy for you to find someone who shares the same interests with you. And as you can see on this slide, this is our outdoor swimming pool. It's also called Lazy River. We have the longest lazy river among all the U.S. institutions. And you as a students with paying a small fee, you will get access to the recreation centers. And on campus-wise, we have 19 residency halls. So there are so many different floor plans that you can choose from. And we have over 30 on-campus dining options. So you will never get hungry here in Lubbock. And there are also several different international dining options. Okay, another one is about our spirit and traditions. So those are the things that you can only experience at Texas Tech. So this one is one of my favorite event on campus. This is Carol of Lights. It's normally happen in the second week of December or first week of December. So our whole campus will be lit up by thousands of lights, and we're gonna have country music bands, hot chocolates for students. So this is something that we want our students to feel special. And also we are NCAA Division I athletes. So that means our athletic teams are almost professional. And you as a student, you will have unlimited access to all the sporting events with your student tuitions. And another thing I would like to highlight is our amazing scholarship programs. So first of all, as you may already know, the first thing you normally want to research on is the cost to attend. So I would like to provide a brief information about the cost to attend here at Texas Tech. So as you can see, there are two types of tuition fees listed here. One is non-resident, another one is residence. So lots of institutions here in the nation charge international students non-resident tuition fees because international students are not the resident of that specific state. But here at Texas Tech, if you can get awarded at least $1,000 competitive scholarship or more, you are qualifying to pay the resident tuition. So simply speaking, instead of getting the scholarship amount, you are also saving almost $13,000 on tuition fees. And this chart listed everything that you might spend on, for example, the housings, books and supplies, transportation, health insurance. And then if you get awarded at least $1,000 scholarship, you're still going to use this $29,653 to minus that scholarship amount you have been awarded. So let's have a look at this fantastic scholarship programs. So we have scholarship for new first-time student. That means you have not attended any colleges or university after graduating from high school. If that's your case, we have the Presidential Merit Scholarship for you. As you can see, the qualifications are high school GPA and test scores. We have an internal evaluation system that's going to convert your GPA to the US 4.0 GPA scale. In the meantime, assign you a class rank. So let me give you an example. If you have a 3.8 GPA after conversion, and in the meantime, if you have 1,200 SAT, then you will have $4,000 a year, and you're eligible to pay the resident tuition. So your estimated tuition fees for a year will become $7,852. Another good thing about this scholarship, it is renewable. It's not just for one semester. So as you can see, the renewal requirements listed here, as long, because we were just talking about $4,000, which falls into $3,000 to $6,500. As long as you can maintain a 3.25 GPA and enroll 30 TTU hours, you will be eligible to renew this scholarship up to 8 semesters. So pretty much all of your time here. And also we're doing test optional through year 2026. So that means you do not have to submit your SAT score. Instead of giving us the score, you will need to submit a list of supplemental documents. So for example, your resume, your personal statements, your recommendation letters, your AP course, your IB course, anything that can help us review your application better, do submit them. And then you will also going to be considered for this scholarship program. So you can see the test optional scholarship listed down here. The highest amount is $4,000, but if you ranked top 10% in your class, we're going to give you another additional $1,000. And it is also renewable. Okay, and also we have scholarship for transfer students. So that means you have already attended an institution after graduating from high school, but you haven't got your bachelor degrees yet. So we have 2 scholarship programs for transfer student, international transfer students. The first one is Presidential Transfer Scholarship. The qualifications are 30 transfer hours plus 3.0 GPA. If you meet both requirements, you will get $3,000 a year, and you are eligible to pay the resident tuition or in-state tuition. And this scholarship program is also renewable as long as you maintain the 3.0 GPA and enroll 12 credit hours, you will be eligible to renew this scholarship. But just as an international undergraduate student, it is mandatory for you to take at least 12 credit hours per semester. So it is not something that hard to achieve. It's actually, we have seen students enroll more than 12 credit hours per semester. We also have another scholarship. It's called Proven Achiever Scholarship. The qualifications are 60 transferable hours plus 3.5 GPA. If you meet both requirements, you will get $4,000 a year, and you're eligible to pay the resident tuition. And it is also renewable up to 6 semesters. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for attending today's webinar. Now we can take some questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to send it to the chat box. We would love to help you with any questions.
Thank you, our amazing speakers, for delivering such inspiring and insightful presentation, and for introducing opportunities available at Texas Tech University. And Lucinda, thank you for your inspiring story. I think that many of people are going to be really inspired with it. Yes, that's it actually. So guys, please, we have a few minutes. So please write your questions in the chat, and I have a few of mine if you do not mind. And first one is this. I believe that you already briefly mentioned the answer for this question, but again, how can journalism students effectively build their personal brand or portfolio when still in school?
I can go ahead and take this one, and if anyone else has some input, please feel free to jump in. The great thing about the College of Media and Communication is that they provide unlimited access to students as soon as their first year to start building their personal brand and working towards building a personal portfolio. Because we believe it is so important, the time that is used in college to, get a head start on those things. Some of the areas that our students can do this is by joining a variety of these organizations and clubs. Many of them are affiliated with industry professionals, meaning, these industry professionals come and they might help advise these students and network with these students. And so, if you're involved in one of those organizations, you're able to get that access to start building those relationships that could help you in the future. We also have so many networking events and workshops that give students, kind of the tangible resources needed to do this. They have access to building a really impressive resume, a really impressive portfolio, because there's so many means to build a portfolio and ways that you can do that. It might look different for an advertising student to build their portfolio versus a journalism student. And so there is that one-on-one training that is available to our students to help them understand, what is the industry looking for and what are their needs, so that a student can make sure that they put themselves in the best seat possible to get a job. So those are some areas that we do that, working with our career specialist that is in-house in media and communication. Her name is Sasha Wilson. She does a great job of training our students and preparing them for next steps. She was also a journalist in her former career, so she has that extra passion and love for our journalism students and helping them prepare for those next steps. So if anyone else has input, feel free to jump in.
I'll go ahead and speak on this. So I think the college does an excellent job with pairing, industry professionals with very specific classes. So I talked about the hub, but one thing I did not mention is I am the faculty advisor for the hub. So whenever students in my class produce content, it's easier for me to look at the content they're producing and say, okay, I think that's good. I want to publish it on our site to help you build your portfolio. And as far as personal brand goes, by choosing the enterprise stories where students, pick their own story topics, that right there is them, building their personal brand. So when we share it on social media, they're able to share it not only on their personal profiles, but also with their families and friends. And I think that is a great way for students to get, plugged in without even stepping foot in industry.
Yes, thank you for answering. It makes a lot of sense. Okay, the next question is this one. What makes the journalism program at Texas Tech University unique compared to other programs in the US?
I'll jump in again. You're probably tired of hearing from me, but I'll take a stab at this. So there are so many amazing journalism programs across the U.S., and they all offer different experiences and approaches to training their students. But one thing that keeps me coming back and continuing to work for this specific College of Media and Communication is the people and the passion. There are so many influential faculty, professors, staff members that truly care about the student and their success beyond the classroom. It is a very tight-knit community, and we've said this over and over again, but we really want students, and we really push them to challenge themselves, to try new things, and to build a kind of a well-rounded toolbox of skills, so that if you are pursuing a journalism path, we still want you to understand the industry as a whole. So you can, still take classes in public relations or in communication studies or some of those other coursework to give you a well-rounded degree and knowledge so that you are competitive in the job market. And that all starts from your very first day on campus. That access is open doors to you. You don't have to wait until you have a certain level of experience and knowledge, or you don't have to wait till you're a junior or a senior at Texas Tech. I think there's just so much great opportunity, and we see this with our students. There are so many amazing journalism graduates that are, working every day, and I look at them and I'm like, I want to be you when I grow up, but they're younger than me, so I don't know how that's possible. But just some amazing people here, and I don't think you can find that elsewhere.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. I know I mentioned earlier that I received both my bachelor's and master's at Tech, but serving in this role, serving on hiring committees and traveling for conferences and meeting other people from different programs, it's really interesting when I'm able to share what we do here and to see people from other colleges other universities saying, wow, you guys do that? That's really cool. And so that makes me think, what we're doing is, far beyond what we even think. Our facilities are really nice. The equipment that we have is really nice. Again, I mentioned this. We have a really tight-knit community. Like Brooke said, it's a family feel. And because we have the, 20 student to 1 professor ratio in classes, and it's a tight-knit community, I feel like we're able to effectively mentor students. We truly get to know them and truly get to know their needs, and we're able to make those connections. For instance, I had a student who isn't in the journalism program, And he said, Professor Holt, I'm interested in marketing and I specifically want to work for a sports team. How can you help me? You know a lot of people in industry. I need some help. And so I was able to connect with some of my journalism friends and say, hey, do y'all have anything in marketing that you know of? And I was able to send him a link to an internship. So it's getting to know students on that intimate, personal level in order to meet their needs.
I do like these approaches, and really, I even start considering going to study journalism at your university because, yeah, the approaches are really great. Thank you. Okay, thank you for your answers. I believe that we don't have questions at this moment, and once again, I would like to thank you for taking some time for sharing your knowledge with our students. And I truly believe that our attendees will implement some knowledge, some insights they have heard today, and they will be useful for their academic and personal journeys. So, thank you once again. I wish you the great rest of the day, and let's be in touch. Thank you for your experience, expertise, and knowledge. Bye.
Thank you, Yana. Thank you. Thank you.